and welcome to We're Obsessed, a pop culture conversation pod here on the Ringer Podcast Network. I'm Jodi Walker.
And I'm Nora Princiati.
Nora, we've been giggling.
We've been giggling a lot. We've been giggling like our mother and father, Keri, Russell, and Matthew Rhys in their Variety interview together.
No spoilers. Which one of who's who in that situation?
Interesting.
In that romantic dynamic. I have to feel that I am him constantly messing with you.
I think that's right.
Because the reason we were laughing is because Sasha said that I'm not allowed to have my water on this side of the table because then my hand is in your one shot. It's a visual podcast, famously a visual medium. Watch us on YouTube.
Producers liked that I just did that.
Yeah, I think they liked it. And we were also giggling because, well, in the process of me moving my cups around, I gave you my seltzer, poured from a cup into your cup.
Intimate.
And you asked if it was Spindrift, and I said, absolutely not. I would never.
Well, what I was actually asking if it was La Croix, because that's what we have in the office. We have like a seltzer tap, and then we have the cans. And I was trying to figure out which one it was. Not that it really mattered to me. I just wanted to understand what I was going to be consuming. But I said the wrong brand because I am a Spindrift drinker.
Although famously, and I hope we're not unearning ourselves any future ad sales here, you said the lime Spindrift tastes like ass.
I don't care for the lime in particular. I really like a grapefruit Spindrift, and I really like I believe it's a raspberry lime I'm quite fond of. And I think the lemon certainly has its place. Yeah, I don't particularly care for the lime, which I forgot. Earlier this spring, I ordered a bunch of Spindrift and I ordered the lime. And then I realized I don't like the lime. But then I kept saying that it tastes like ass. And my husband told me to stop because he
wanted to drink his ass in peace.
After the first time this came up, usually it was coming up subsequently in moments when he was drinking the Spindrift and I was saying, no, I don't want that. It tastes like ass. And he was like, just stop saying that.
I feel, and you have corroborated me on you having at least one other friend that thinks this, that Spindrift tastes mute. It tastes muted. It tastes like when you think you're going to have water, but you get milk. It is like a different mouthfeel than it should be.
So this is one of these things that I didn't realize there was a spectrum of opinions on until very recently when my friend's boyfriend said, I don't like Spindrift. It's too mild. And I said, what are you talking about? It's like there's more flavor in a Spindrift than a La Croix. I think of Spindrift as being more significantly and more vibrantly flavored than most of the seltzer brands.
And I have a theory on this, which is that probably for someone like you, Spindrift is the single most flavorful thing that you drink. Whereas currently in my home, there is a cherry Coke Zero, which is sort of like drinking battery acid that came out of a slushy machine. And it's delicious. And so when I drink a Spindrift, I'm like, this should be more or it should be less. It cannot be how it is.
Yeah, no, this is exactly how my friend's boyfriend and also my friend Evan, shout out Evan, feels. And I didn't realize that
Evan,
he wasn't
right
alone.
As usual. Evan, you get it.
It is. I mean, it's not the most flavorful beverage that I drink, but it is the most flavorful carbonated beverage that I drink.
Listen, I
Diet Coke, which I do have occasionally as a treat. It's not really a flavor. It's just an experience.
The flavor is brown.
The flavor is metallic.
The flavor of Spindrift is like pastel yellow. No thanks.
The flavor of grapefruit Spindrift is grapefruit. It's distinctly grapefruit.
I know.
And it's good. It's really good. The grapefruit is quite excellent. There's also, for a very long time, and I'm a little out of date on this because famously it's been a while since I lived in my home. But for quite a while, I had a Spindrift variety pack subscription.
Millennial.
They were selling for like, There was some loophole with the variety pack where it was like 24 cans for $12.
You got in on that thing where Olive Garden's like, if you subscribe right now, you can have
Yeah,
unlimited
no, there
soup,
was like
salad,
a
and breadsticks for the rest of your life.
It was a crazy situation. And then they kept going to my old apartment. And then at one point, my husband had to like lug crates, pallets of Spindrift.
And this is the last thing I'll say on the matter. I'm dealing with this myself because you know I used to be a Bazooka influencer. Bazooka used to send me candy quarterly.
I don't think I knew this.
Really? It's a big thing about me.
This is crazy fresh lore.
And this is like,
how did you get into business with the Bazooka Corporation?
You know how you're always getting PR emails and like never responding to them?
Correct.
Years ago. Like, I would say before I was really even, like, getting a lot of PR emails, or they were all, it's because all PR emails are, that go to my personal email at least, are, like, for weed for dogs. It's like, it's all dog CBD oil. And you're like, no, thank you. Or rather, I just have 17,000 unopened emails. But, probably, 6 or 7 years ago, one came in from Bazooka Bubblegum. Of the Bazooka bubblegums.
Of course.
And they were like, do you want 20 ring pops? I was like, yeah. And I sent them my home address. And then for the
You're damn right I do.
In Asheville, for the next 5 years, they sent me at least quarterly package of like more candy than you've ever seen in your life. And I would, maybe have a little bit of it. Also, the thing about Bazooka candy is it's like extremely weird. They use lots of different vessels to deliver things to you. Squirt pens, cups made out of candy. They're really doing it. And I would save most of it up, though, and hand it out at Halloween. And I would just make it rain. I was like the best house on the block. That Bazooka candy followed me to, like, my next address. I did not change it. It followed me. The sublets have been a little much for it to take.
What do you mean it followed you?
Like, I don't know. I changed my address and it forwarded, I guess it was coming through USPS and it
okay, like the post office forwarded it.
I've never asked questions.
The Bazooka Corporation is not, say, stalking you.
I would be happy for them to. Because if they could be following me from New Orleans to Mexico City to Chelsea to wherever I am next, I would really appreciate it. But right now, we're both dealing with our own demons, which is why we have big opinions on Spindrift.
Thanks for the seltzer, babe.
You got it, girl. It is La Croix. Okay. We got to get to the news because a few things have happened in the last several days that I have deemed We're Obsessed own personal Paul Revere situation when only we can be the people to shout certain things from the rooftops. Like, for example,
can I just make the point that that's not what Paul Revere did?
Yeah, close enough. From the rooftops, from a horse. I don't have a horse.
He hung a lantern.
I don't have a horse. Nora, what am I supposed to do? This is my Paul Revere anthem. This is my fight song.
Okay. Asked and answered. We're good.
Okay, Nora, what did he do? Tell us what Paul Revere did.
He did ride a horse.
So New England.
1 if by land, 2 if by sea.
Yeah. We've read the poem.
I just want to say that he wasn't shouting from the rooftops. I think then people did begin to shout, the British are coming, the British are coming. And that was the shouting, but that wasn't specifically.
But he was like saying, what did he say? Like the originals are coming? Like there was some code word.
His role was less shouting, is my understanding.
I heard in my Texas history class that he was getting Cosmos on a rooftop and he shouted, the British are coming.
It was redcoats what you were looking for?
No, redcoats was not what I was looking for.
That was Sasha's query. I didn't think so.
Listen, sometimes do I paint myself the idiot? Yes. No, it was like some code word. I don't know. You should have let me say rooftops. We wouldn't be in this situation.
And I do have regrets.
Paul Revere had to shout his shit from the rooftops. And sometimes we have to get on a horse and tell people when there's a new Roxie on Broadway.
It's true.
But actually, I feel such shame, not about the Paul Revere thing, because I myself generally know the gimmick Roxies. I'm a part of those narratives. And this is a situation, the regulars, Sasha has come through.
So you know what? Actually, now
The regulars are coming.
now I'm deficient because I don't really know about this.
How do you take an adult history class?
I would really like to do that. If anyone has any suggestions, or like a good Paul Revere documentary.
Sometimes I feel like I need to go to one of those classes at the library where they teach you how to use your iPhone. There's for old people.
Oh.
There's some stuff I don't know.
I'm gonna admit that you lost me for a second there.
That's crazy. Okay, we got to settle down. You got to give us the news because you know this Roxie and I don't know her.
I do know this Roxie. The Roxie to be, the Roxie in waiting, is Reece Weaver.
Who is that?
From America's Sweethearts,
Wow.
Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
I knew when I didn't watch. I think I don't watch the Dallas Cowboys show the kind of the same way I didn't watch Southern Charm for a really long time. It's a little too close to home.
Sure.
And I knew when I didn't start watching it, 3 seasons ago or whatever, that I was going to be left out in the dust and that one day this social blindness would betray me.
I do think that I'm here for you. That's what I'm here for. But someday I hope you watch it because I would really love to know your reactions to it. But
She's adorable.
She is adorable. Rhys has been a breakout star since the first season of the Netflix iteration of the show. Of course, the show goes back much longer than that. I've only ever watched the Netflix incarnation. This young woman, she comes into season 1. She has just graduated from the University of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And she cares about 3 things in life.
Texas family football.
I mean, kind of. But God, her boyfriend, who's a whole other situation that we don't have time for today, but his reveal, I know.
Can you give us just like one hint? Is he an SEC boyfriend?
He is an SEC boyfriend.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I believe his name is Will. He seems sweet. And dance.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the most, everything I do for my faith, like demure. I just want God to move through me and I will be on my path for him. Like she's so demure, but also like there's a devoutness that to my viewing eye, which doesn't have a lot of experience with people who project that so front and center, is like very interesting to watch. And then she starts to dance. Then she gets onto the floor for her solo in her rookie audition in season 1. A tiger comes out of this woman when she begins to dance.
Well, I think she'd call that God.
Yes. and it's visible and you can experience it. I could not possibly relate to this woman less, and I would watch any amount of her available for me to consume on a television screen. She's fascinating. And she really is like, she has, I don't know that charisma, it is charisma. It's not charisma of a type that I normally am like, yes, this is what I would describe as myself being drawn to, but you cannot look away from her. She's mesmerizing on screen.
Do you think that she is going to have that kind of appeal on the Broadway stage where she is called upon to both dance, sing, and act? Do you think that it is such a stage presence?
So
this is an interesting. Has she shown any aspirations for non-dance performance?
This is part of what's interesting, is that in season 3, spoilers for America's Sweethearts, but like this is a show that comes out after these things take place and people watch them, so I think it's fine. In season 3, she had a pretty bad high ankle sprain, for one. So she was starting, and like these girls' bodies get worn down. Like it's very, very hard, particularly because of the splits in Thunderstruck.
You're like saying so many things.
Jodi, I need you to watch it. I actually do need you to watch it.
I had a feeling of like how you must receive me often. Like the things that you're saying very seriously, like she had a a high ankle sprain.
She did
What
have
is
a
that?
high ankle sprain.
High in the ankle?
Yes.
Okay.
And a high ankle sprain for any type of athlete is a much bigger deal than a regular ankle sprain.
Does high mean extra bad or it means extra high on the ankle?
Extra high on the ankle.
Okay.
She's a high ankle sprain.
Uh-huh.
And you can see that the physical wear and tear is also taking a toll on her mentally. A lot of this past season was about the women trying to navigate the fact that they have a new level of notoriety, and she like really is one of the breakout stars. And I think she is one where she has kind of like her own stardom that's emerged from the show, and also she's one of the women who the organization really likes to put front and center because she's going to say the right thing for them.
The organization, scary.
Yes.
They're pretty scary, right? Because I
Jodi.
haven't watched the Netflix show, but I definitely watched like a True Life, I'm a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader or something with like the scariest Texas women at the top.
I mean, so the woman who runs DCC is named Kelly Finglass. And this is a character that I just, again, like I really would love your take on, because part of what is mesmerizing about the show is that I don't think that she thinks that she's saying awful things, but she will simultaneously show real compassion and I think genuine love for these women and for the work that they do together. And then she will say some of the most brutal, ugly things that you do not generally get a person who knows that they are being filmed willing to express
quite so awful
into a camera.
Where are we on body shaming currently in the organization and institution? At a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think we've gotten in the last few years? Do you think they've dialed it back?
So I think we're at a
high 10 in 1999.
Definitely. I think we might be working at like an 8-7.
Okay, so we dialed it back a little, but not a lot.
It's not funny. Like a thing that keeps happening is you actually like they have this whole debate about whether or not they should have a height requirement because again, the kick lines and the thunderstruck of it all, there's a big part of that signature routine where they're all locked in arm to arm.
Yeah.
And if somebody's down here,
that's hard.
It's a whole situation. And so they've like had this whole thing where, okay, they don't technically have a height requirement. And then you'll always see Kelly saying things like, well, she dances tall. She dances tall. She might be 5'3", but she dances tall.
So she's rooting for the shorties.
She is rooting for who she is rooting for.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, like Kelly definitely likes to put Rhys front and center. So she's definitely one who's like really blown up. But then at the end of season 3, she retires. And she retires, it seems, in part because of the physical toll that it's taking on her body, but also because you have her and her, at this point, husband being like, this town is too big for it. Like, we want to go back to Alabama. We want a smaller, quieter life. And so I'm surprised from that point of view. I mean, of course, it's a temporary thing and it's a huge opportunity. And why would you not say yes? But
the role of Roxie is irresistible. And I would like to know the list, if there even is one, of D-list celebrities who have turned it down. Like, had she turned it down for the small Alabama life, would she be the first
to say no?
To ever say no. I think if you're getting offered Roxie, you're not saying no.
Yeah, unless they are just shooting for the moon and we don't know about it.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't mean in that direction.
Sure.
I actually, though, would still like to know that list because I bet if that is a list, some of those people should have said yes. Because they didn't quite hit the moon they were thinking they would.
Right.
And now Whitney from Mormon Wives, like, stands as this, pillar of, like, what can become because she was pretty good.
Yeah.
And her whole life has changed.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how far she can run that. But this seems like another person who was like not particularly interested in acting.
Or singing. I have absolutely no idea. Like, not that it requires that much, but it's still
people always say that, like, you know, well, you can kind of stunt cast Roxie because it's some singing, man.
relative to other major parts in Broadway musicals.
Right. But relative to how much you're willing to hear a normal person sing, it's singing.
Yeah, no, I have simply no idea if she has any vocal ability whatsoever. But boy, can she dance, Jodi. Boy, can she dance.
I see on her Instagram her wearing a pair of Minnie Mouse ears, and so that would suggest that she's at least done a little character work in her day. She might have kickball changed around a high school theater stage. More than just the dance. Well, I think that we should put it on the record that we want to go see her.
Yeah.
We would like to see her. We got to see all the Roxies now. They're like my own Pokemon cards.
Gotta catch them all.
And we got to get Sasha in there. They're actually her Pokemon cards. I'm glad we started with that because we're moving on to a different Paul Revere.
The two Americas.
These are the two Americas. That I can't help it. I'm trying not to be weird about this as instructed.
Yeah, you were expressly told not to.
That was about something different, sort of. AOC is single, and I feel a lot of stuff about it. As do many people. And I think I mostly feel for her and her DMs now that it has been publicly announced that she has split from her fiance, Riley Roberts.
And now, according to
a million years.
Yeah.
They've been dating
according
since
to
college.
TMZ, they broke up actually like 2 years ago. It just didn't come up before then. And I do buy that because it hasn't been since the Met Gala where they took photos on the carpet together, which was several years ago, that they've been publicly photographed together.
Yes. Now, I have seen out on the dark web a little bit of Mike Vrabel? Mike
Vrabel.
That coach. A little bit of that coach style footage.
Nailed it.
Of a couple people having taken photos maybe of them out and about and sat on the footage and then been like, okay, well, they've been spotted together in the last few years, to which I say, like, let a girl see her ex-boyfriend a little bit if she wants to. I think that's fine.
Me too.
Stay out of there. But I guess, I don't know if it's become, or if it was like kind of finally time to announce it or let the knowledge be public, because AOC has recently been public about her journey to freeze her eggs. And she shared a video where she both showed herself doing the hormone injection and said, "Don't be weird about this. I know you will be." And she's right. And she said that she's kind of just like talking about, all this hysteria that's created around like when women have children and they need to do it by a certain time. And she said that if a man is creating hysteria and trying to make women feel like they need to have kids early, they are trying to rush you into a relationship with a loser. She goes, loser.
You know how I feel about calling people losers.
It's very powerful.
I agree.
It's very powerful stuff.
I'm happy to see that she's one with the cause.
Can I tell you my favorite tweet about the situation?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can tell
I know what it is, but absolutely you can tell me.
You can tell AOC is serious about running for president because she knows America isn't ready for a ginger in the White House. And she's right.
I could see you in there.
They got a jester role. I mean, I've been in the White House
behind
many
that
times.
desk, fidgeting.
They let me in. Been in the press room, waving around. Taking that thing out of my hat, waving it around. But America's not ready. But they're also not, America's not ready for anything. They're definitely not ready for a single woman president. So it's like, what's going to be happening? Is there some high stakes bachelor that she's going to have to do? Bachelorette? God, I hope not. I'm just really, just really want her to be okay.
Yeah, same.
And it feels like the public isn't ready for any of this.
I think that there's something genuinely profound about a possible presidential candidate and even at least intra-party frontrunner speaking openly about the fact that she is doing this and normalizing it in that way. I think that's really wonderful. Everything in our world communicates to me that we cannot have nice things, so I won't get too attached to it.
No. But I do appreciate her being like open in public about her, freezing her eggs, and now being open in public about having to be open in public about this breakup. Just like so annoying.
Yeah, but I do think the best, like, having it come out a significant amount of time after the fact, I think is the best possible. Like, it's hard to get too, well, I was going to say it's hard to get too worked up about it, but people will find a way.
About what?
That they broke up.
Nora, it's so easy to get worked up about that.
They broke up.
I know. It's just like people want to know everything. They want to like make all the jokes about Bernie Bros shooting their shot. I'll tell you what I'm not fucking clicking on. You've seen that headline that's like, clavicular shoots his shot at AOC?
Oh, God.
I don't want it. I'm not clicking on it. It's not a new sentence. It's not going in the canon.
I don't like this tendency that I'm adopting where that
guy has no fucking morals, by the way. Like, what is his, I mean, even like he can't even just be terrible. Like, what are his line items? What are his boundaries? It's like, I feel like he's this like right-wing nutso, like meeting with Andrew Tate, and then he's trying to shoot a shot at AOC. Get out of there. Sorry, I feel like I interrupted an important point.
He only craves attention. He has no
sometimes you have to remind me,
no calling, no real politics of his own.
You do have to remind me, because this happened with Caroline Calloway too.
Just attention.
I got really worked up.
Just attention.
I've heard
that is his only god, his only president, his only leader. And hitting himself in the face with a hammer.
Hammer is his god. I've received feedback from my therapist and several friends that I'm sometimes too generous with people. And I find that like sometimes works in the opposite direction, where I'm like,
concentrate.
Well, I'm like, what's this guy's deal? Like, he's got to have a deal. And you're like, Jodi, he's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. It's really fucked up.
He's just a narcissist hitting himself in the chin with a hammer.
Thank you. That was helpful feedback.
No, the thing that I was going to say is like, I've noticed in myself, because this happened with Sierra too, a tendency where
Sierra from Summer House?
Yes.
Okay.
Where if something happens to, like, if a woman is maybe going through something, a woman that I'm supportive of is going through something, my first thought is, could Michael B. Jordan date this person? And I think
no, he's dating Ray.
Ray, yeah. Where is her husband? I think it's maybe becoming disrespectful to Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, I apologize, but that was a thought that I had.
No, I think Michael B. Jordan knows he's the only eligible bachelor in America.
He's the only one that we love and trust.
Maybe in the world, and he's doing his own personal high-stakes
she doesn't
bachelor.
Need to be in a relationship. That's the entire point. But there's a part of me that is both, like a victim of societal reinforcement of the idea that a woman needs a man, but also is good-natured and genuinely wanting the best for people. And like those two impulses, they intersect at, should this person date Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah. For me, it is purely too many seasons of the Bachelor franchise and also too many rom-coms where, even though I do not think this for myself or my friends ever, when a famous person becomes single, I'm like, how do we fill in that?
Right.
What do we?
Right. How do we
matchmake this?
How do we
to create more future nepo babies? That I'm just looking out for future generations. Oh, I'm getting really into who AOC is speaking to when she's like, "Don't tell women to have babies" territory. I'll dial it back. She said it was going to make us weird, and it did. Just me.
What did you say to me? You said like, you just said AOC being single is so weird. And that's how I feel about this. It's just like,
Because I
unsettled by it.
I know. I didn't really know much about Riley. I didn't super know she wasn't single. It was kind of like the reveal of this information that she is not exactly freshly single. It gave me this sort of buzz through my body that was like, uh-oh, like everybody's going to be, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be weird.
Be okay.
You think it'll be okay?
I think it'll be okay.
Okay. I may be on edge because of all of this news, including that our final Paul Revere segments. There's a new BBC Live Lounge coming. Also sends a shudder through my body often. And there's a new NPR Tiny Desk coming. They've both arrived.
Yeah,
now they've arrived.
The lantern has been hung.
The rooftops have been completed. The rooftops, they're up there. Okay, those things are. It's mostly that, I mean, we saw that.
I don't think he was ever on the roof. I could be wrong. Gotta rewatch that Ken Burns.
I know. Well, that's what Sasha recommended for adult history is the Ken Burns Revolutionary War documentary. I just really enjoyed this thing, and it furthers my like role model. I can never make a solid opinion about you sort of thing of like, that is a person who sticks in my head. I know role model. I know that his real name is Tucker Pillsbury. I know that.
Yep.
But, like, I can kind of never decide if I like him, if I like his music, if that matters, if any of it matters. Because he's always been kind of funny.
Yes. He's very funny on the internet.
Okay. So this week, just the other day, he posted an Instagram story, and it's sort of a picture of a towel in a park or on a lawn. He seems to be, enjoying a little recovery time, where he said, I covered Olivia for BBC, and I'm just going to get ahead of the comments and let you know I botched it.
And then it's the heart eyes emoji, I think, which really seals it.
It softens it up, and I do think that this is very funny because, man, did they botch some covers in the BBC Live Lounge.
True.
Also,
occasionally transcendent.
Truly. I mean, like, that can be such a YouTube black hole, is when you get in there and you're watching one star cover another star's song. It's honestly like it's like a YouTube rabbit hole I haven't done in a while.
The Taylor Swift, Phil Collins Can't Stop Loving You cover, I don't think is one that like universally means that much to people, but there's something about it where like she makes it so melancholy. I think about it all the time.
Oh, I like when she sings, doesn't she do Vance Joy's Riptide?
Yes.
I thought that was a really interesting collab. I like that one. It seems to not be as impactful to you.
I think that Taylor Swift's specific affinity for the Vance Joy Riptide fun period era of pop music is something that
I also have quite an affinity for that era of music.
Yeah, no, I know. And I respect it in both of you. I see it in both of you. In her,
you don't sound very respectful.
It causes problems. It causes problems. I don't have a problem with the appreciation itself. I'm just saying that it causes problems. It leads to things.
Okay. For her? For me?
And Jack Antonoff and everyone and you and me.
Yeah. Because I'm going to say this. I watched.
And you and me and Hermione.
There it is.
That's what I felt like I was doing.
I watched the role model cover of Maggots for Brains. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
not quite good enough to make a joke about how you botched it, because I'm not sure it quite answers the question of, is this a joke?
Oh, I didn't think it was a joke. I thought he felt like he did bad and he wanted to get out in front of it, because the thing that's particularly bad about it is the face he's making the whole time.
Well, and holding the microphone comes off.
And he's like really furrowing his brow. Like he looks like he didn't know he was going to be singing this song and is learning it in real time. I wouldn't say it sounds terrible.
No.
Unlike something different that I saw on the internet, and I'm going to be a little shitty. I didn't know Audrey Hobert had a brother.
Oh.
And I was introduced to him.
Not spinning Malcolm Todd earrings in the Jodie Walker household?
I probably am by accident, and I didn't know it was him. Is that one where when I get on the Spotify global, or like the Spotify top list, and it's like, I don't know any of these people, I don't know this song. Is he on there?
Yeah.
Okay, I have listened
It's the
to it.
one where there's a bridge where he's like, extra, extra, read all about it. Magazine is feeling da 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 da.
Okay, I think it's kind of wild that you were coming for me for liking Riptide.
No, it's a fun
Is that what
song.
you're listening to?
I love these two crazy kids.
I like them too. I've just had this experience on the internet this week where I am learning about, and I would say on the internet and right here in this podcast studio, where I'm learning a lot about Audrey Hobert that I didn't know. I liked her music. I didn't know that she came from a family of 6. I didn't know that one of those other gingers was also singing. And I did then go on to like watch some videos of her talking about her brother. I do choose to receive any information about her brother through her. That I thought were really nice, but unfortunately, I was introduced.
Do you call a family of 6, like that's how you do 2 parents, 4 kids?
Is that what I said? I think she has 6 siblings, or she's one of 6,
She's
right?
one of 4.
Oh, okay. She described it to me as a family of 6 in a video I watched.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Continues to be interesting.
She always, the choices with this girl, I'm always interested.
Uh-huh. On the same week that she is having a Tiny Desk concert, which is very good and fun, he released he's in a Gap ad.
Correct.
Where he is covering Robin's Dancing on My Own.
Yes.
And I think we got to call a moratorium.
Yeah. No, we're doing actually a timeout.
It's a TO.
It's a TO on, not on Dancing on My Own as itself.
I'm
but
going to go out and say on men covering Robin.
Men covering Robin. I would even, honestly, I'm going to make this gender neutral. I think that we, like, riffing on Dancing on My Own, or the use of Dancing on My Own as the only piece of art, music, or culture that can reference or like communicate a certain type of like bridging of pop and indie spaces. We have to come up with...
Is that what they're doing?
Yes. Yes.
That's not coming through in the work.
No, that is totally what that song, like, iconic song, amazing song. But to me, it comes up time and time again because it is a piece of work that is both like fluent in a mainstream way and also in ways that are very niche.
Well, I just think that no one's ever going to do better than Taran Killam covering Robin. Call Your Girlfriend, simply through dance. I'm open to more dance covers of Robin.
Sure.
Less singing covers.
I was in a flash mob in high school to Robin's Call Your Girlfriend.
That was such a cursed moment of you looking me in the eye and saying I was in a flash mob.
I was in a flash mob.
In high school?
In high school.
What was the function of the flash mob? Like, what were you accomplishing?
We were celebrating my friend's birthday.
Wow. That is nice. That's nice.
It's in our cafeteria.
How many people participated?
I believe north of 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must be a good person, that friend,
Yeah.
to have accrued such investment. As John Early said, learning choreo makes you know that someone cares about something.
Tried hard. Did work.
I can't even imagine, 100 people learning choreography for me. Have you seen this on TikTok recently? A lot of weddings have been breaking into Les Mis. Like, more than a few. And there was one...
No, I'm sorry.
I know. But there was one where, like, I think that most of the friends were, like, musical theater people. And then I saw another one where it was just clearly, like, that bride's greatest dream. And when it starts happening, she goes, oh, my God, they're doing it.
Look, it wouldn't be my choice, but everybody deserves to have the special day that they want.
I sang a lot of Les Mis at your wedding. You just didn't notice. I was trying to get something going, but no one was down.
You and Evan back there.
Me and Evan just shitting on Spindrift.
My chosen seltzer.
Trying to get a little bit of Les Mis going. I will say that the thing that was particularly offensive to me about the Malcolm Todd Dancing on My Own cover. I was also
coming back to earth with it right in this moment.
The Dancing on My Own cover is that he does it with Indy Navarrete from obsession. And that's not dancing on your own. She comes in and I thought she was going to start singing too, like it was going to, but instead he's just dancing with another person and it's very uncomfortable.
That's fair.
I both wouldn't recommend watching it and would recommend watching it.
Yeah, and it is like, it does feel...
He's shirtless.
Well, but then is he shirtless the whole time, or is there a moment when he's wearing actually many shirts?
He might put a couple of blouses on when she comes into the
because
rotating room that they're dancing
Malcolm
at.
Todd is someone who is often wearing a baseball tee.
Oh, okay. I do like that.
Yeah.
He's
or
very,
like the long sleeve, short sleeve. Clock in. He's a fun young gent. And Audrey is very sweet about him, and he's very sweet about her. And sometimes, like he's gotten on stage with her during her festival run a couple times this summer, or at least once. And he's done the choreography that she does on the trampoline with her. And it is crazy how the two of them... Audrey Hobert's physicality is pretty specific. And yet there's a separate person who does it the exact same way. Like they just move and they have the same gangly limbs and they move through space and time in a way that I didn't expect to ever see two people match each other.
Well,
in.
Now that I've learned a good bit about their family in the last 24 hours.
Do you know about the dad?
Okay, this is what I know. That the dad is a screenwriter. Or he works in television. He's produced a lot of television. This is what I've now learned, that Audrey Hobert got a bachelor in screenwriting.
Yes.
And then became a screenwriter for Nickelodeon.
Yes.
And they were making a show. She was writing on a show that he was making that seems to be about such a family or a housing situation that might develop two people who have such interesting movements. It kind of seems like the Cheaper by the Dozen house.
Yes. He was for his sort of big thing, initially at least, was Scrubs.
Yeah.
But she loves television. She have you listened to Who's the Clown?
In its entirety? That's the
album. That's her album.
I haven't listened to all of it.
Have you heard Phoebe?
No.
Okay. So Phoebe is a song on Who's the Clown. Incredible album. Truly a striking debut album. Just in terms of somebody arriving with a clear voice and perspective and point of view. It's like, I just have rarely experienced it so concentrated. It's not the most complex musically, certainly that's not what we're talking about, but just from a point of view perspective, it's really something to behold. There's a song called Phoebe, which is about Phoebe from Friends. And it's
another
about
unique mover.
How she's how Audrey is watching Friends, is part of what that song is about and inspired by. But she does say in her tiny desk, she kind of comes clean about the fact that there actually is a season and a half of Friends that she hasn't finished, but she feels that she's far enough in and she sort of understands what it had to offer her.
I relate to that. To being I'm obsessed with this thing. I haven't seen some of it.
I love her.
I know. And I think that has been that's been permeating through me, and something about me has been I'm going to learn more. And then that brother really came out of left field.
I know. And I do.
And that's fine.
I'm supportive of Malcolm. I do like the song Earrings. He also he has a record out which is called Sweet Boy. Yeah.
Okay, I'm receiving it. I'm taking it in.
But I do kind of think that he is a sweet boy.
Okay, you have had to retract that statement.
I know, but I kind of don't think that he'll betray me, even though there was a whole, I don't think that he was at all at fault. But Spotify, our corporate parent, had to take away.
We're from a family of 6. Us, Belle, Sasha, and our parents, Mr. and Mr. Spotify. Canonically gay.
Our 2 dads. They had to take away something like 500,000 streams of the song Earrings because there was a situation where somebody, I forget if it was like hacking or like inside information, but somebody had won a lot of money on Kalshi
Uh-huh.
of the Kalshi concourse at Madison Square Garden, of course.
Kalshi Concourse Crunch.
Of Kalshi Concourse Crunch, by betting on its chart placement. And then it turned out to be a scam. And so Spotify retracted something like 500,000 streams that had been credited to Earrings by Malcolm Todd. Still a very popular song. Again, still a song that I like. I am a little wary of the thing where, again, I think they're both very talented. I hold Audrey so dear. I have a little bit of the sensation of the world going, oh, there's a boy one? We want that. And I don't want that to be what this ends up feeling like.
I think you're safe. I don't know.
She's good. She's good. She's on Tiny Desk. I mean, there's never been a more perfect meeting of artist and a particular stage.
Yes, I much like she hasn't finished Friends, I haven't finished the Tiny Desk. But I watched the first 2 songs and she sounded great. I think there's something about her being his older sister that it's like you have to respect that. And she is also one of those people who seems to just be good at everything because she was just like actively a TV screenwriter and then was like, I think I'm going to write some songs for Gracie Abrams and now I think I'll make my own album.
Yeah.
And next, Roxie on the Broadway stage. I don't have the list of people who have turned down Roxie.
You know what's amazing?
But we are building a list of people we want to be Roxie.
Like, what's the list of people who could conceivably be longlisted for both Roxie and Mary?
Audrey Hobert is well, I believe that any Mary could play Roxie, but not every Roxie could play Mary.
But Audrey Hobert,
for sure.
Audrey Hobert is a Roxie who can play Mary.
She fits right in. She slots right in.
There's been a thing happening on my internet lately where people are sharing clips of the Taylor Swift "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together" music video where she's wearing a lot of stripes and she has those dancing bears behind her and it's all insane. Great music video.
I haven't seen that one.
You'll remember it instantly. And the caption is always, she was pregnant with Audrey Hobert here. And it's really right. And then there's something about and then the womb of that is the Tiny Desk, is the NPR Tiny Desk.
You are constructing an anatomy that I am uncomfortable with.
Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Don't make it weird. That's it.
Me,
and
not worried about making it weird about AOC. Exceptionally weird. I'm worried about making it weird about Audrey Hobert.
That's your girl.
I love her.
That's your girl. I can't wait to see what she does next. And definitely watch that Tiny Desk. Take or leave the BBC Live Lounge with Tucker Pillsbury.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Fine.
It's fine. I'm sure Olivia was fine with it. They are covering Olivia Rodrigo over there. She is a big muse of the BBC Live Lounge.
Indeed.
Okay, Nora. I'm so negative on this one. We've both seen 2. Actually, I shouldn't speak for you. You could have loved the Shards.
Yeah, this is amazing. You have no idea how I feel about the Shards.
No idea. And in fact, in the outline, all the notes about the Shards are from me telling you not to tell me that you like it. Because I'm prepared with defenses in case that is the situation.
So I saw the Shards. Let me actually make a confession a la Audrey Hobert. I saw the first 2 episodes of the Shards, which are the 2 episodes that Bret Easton Ellis wrote and signed off on before Ryan Murphy wrested a tighter grip on the creative control of the project. And they did give me a nightmare, and therefore I did not continue.
Okay.
And they gave me a nightmare despite the fact that the manner in which I watched the first 2 episodes of the Shards was to get to a point where it felt like something scary might be happening soon, and then just scroll on the little Apple TV remote so that I could see
You might be the least reliable narrator in history.
No, I know what happened. There's some fucked up stuff that happens in this, Jodi.
Okay.
And there are some images of bodies and mutilated animals that I knew should not cross my eyes. And so I did have to take some self-protective precautions. And even still, just a couple shots of Homer Gear leering affected me enough that I did fall.
You're having
asleep at
nightmares
night.
about Richard Gere's son?
I was afraid. So I did not continue. But I watched the first 2 episodes and feel actually pretty good about that, because they were these are the 2 episodes that are supposedly okay, and then it goes completely off the rails.
There's a pretty interesting Hollywood Reporter piece about how this happened, and that HBO, bought the rights to the Bret Easton Ellis novel, The Shards. Before the book was ever even finished. And this is a fact I didn't know. While Ellis was still releasing the story as weekly audio installments on his podcast in 2020 and 2021.
And I believe at this point, there was one point at which Luca Guadagnino was supposed to direct this.
Yowza.
Probably a different show. I'd venture to guess it would have been a different program.
It is both different and the same. There are overlaps in what Ryan Murphy is generally up to, but it is a very different final product.
Yeah.
And then Bret Easton Ellis and HBO, something mysterious happened, and they had such an irreconcilable rift that then HBO lets it go, but he's already written those first 2, right? And then literally Ryan Murphy picks it up, and according to the Vulture reviewer, drives it off a cliff in episode 3.
Which is so this is what I've read this as well. Again, I had a nightmare, so I will not be continuing. The first two are okay. It has a charisma to it. It has kind of a vibe. Some of it looks great.
The vibe is 80s.
And hot young people. The Bret Easton Ellis stand-in character, Bret, does a lot of, basically narrates the entire thing. And so he is saddled with far too much expository, not even dialogue, just monologue.
Yeah.
And that is a little bit of a tough hang. I've watched several television programs in my life and thought, where are their parents?
Yeah.
Never before to this extent.
Well, I think one of the issues with the HBO breakup was oops, then they did Euphoria, and you just kind of can't come in and do another Euphoria.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just you have to watch this. There's a serial killer targeting Los Angeles high school students.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these kids' parents are staying in France.
Well, rich parents are crazy.
I'm not sure they're that crazy. I'm not sure that most of them are truly that crazy. There are some things that even in episodes 1 and 2, which again are supposed to be the much more grounded, sane version of the show, still made me go, I'm sorry, what?
Unfortunately for me, probably the number one pre-hater of the Shards. The reveal that the first 2 episodes are maybe kind of palatable, and then Ryan Murphy comes in and drives it off a cliff is nearly irresistible.
I know.
It really kicks up that German word that I always can't think of how to say. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. Sure. Say it.
Schadenfreude?
I was going to get there. About Ryan Murphy for me.
The only, whenever I hear the Shards, all I want to do is say, forget it, Jake. It's the Shards.
What is that from?
Chinatown?
Oh.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I can't
I
believe
don't
they
know.
called it that.
I too am interested in like exactly how Ryan Murphy drives this off a cliff. I think my problem is that I am interested in like how they solve the mystery
Of the serial
of
killer?
the serial killer.
Yeah.
But apparently that whole part of it is what the show becomes much less interested in, which is
Yes.
crazy because they have already shown you just the most disgusting images of dead bodies.
Ugh.
Yes,
That's bad. I
there's
didn't
a couple,
know.
like, it's already been pretty gratuitous, I will say.
I didn't know that it was going to scare you so much.
I actually like the Homer Gear character is very good at being menacing, which is funny
Okay.
because he just did this, he just did the Vogue September issue cover with Kaya Gerber,
Yeah.
and he seems much more boyish.
Yes, he's very smiley.
He's
It's
very
cute.
smiley and cheerful and boyish in those photographs. It's very cute. And they do succeed in making him significantly more menacing in the show.
Okay.
And it affected me.
Well, speaking of menacing, I saw One Night Only.
Tell me about it. Did it answer your questions?
It answered some questions. Of course, those questions being presented by the trailer, which mostly looked like it was for a rom-com, except for the opening line when they said, finding love is hard. Try doing it when single people are only legally allowed to have sex one night a year. And you think, legally. So in this rom-com, some version of sex, specifically for single people, is illegal.
By the way, I can only now hear your description of that in the voice of, but they also have this duck.
Try finding it on the one night of the year when this duck is over here. That would have been a better premise because I do understand for these men making TV and movie, what's going on? What's wrong with you're out of seltzer? Let me go grab you another one. I understand the irresistible draw of just a plot that you think of where you're like, that's fucking nuts. I should write it.
Totally.
What if I wrote a rom-com taking place under a fascist government? And yeah, that's interesting. Like we do and will still find love under fascist rule. Famously, that is a thing that can be done. I don't want to say that I didn't have some giggles in One Night Only.
Okay. You're not the only person. I actually don't know if you would say that you liked this movie, but I've heard from people in my life whose opinions I respect who said I liked this movie.
I did not like this movie because it's very poorly executed. And so, like, there's a world where
they also have this duck.
Maybe it's just that I speak in that cadence.
Kind of.
Sorry.
Kind of.
Sorry.
Don't apologize. It's beautiful.
There is a world where this works as a rom-com satire, which is something they attempt to do in the movie. Like, it is kind of a parody of a rom-com. And I didn't know that from the trailer.
Nor I.
And I didn't know it going in. It becomes pretty evident, like, a lot of the sort of bigger parts of the characters and plots are sort of a parody or at least like satirizing rom-coms. Like, her job is hilarious. And many of my giggles came from her job, which is that she sings covers of like popular, mostly aughts, pop songs for pharmaceutical commercials where the words have been changed to...
Okay, but Dancing on My Own is out.
Off the table. I'm
We're
sure
taking
she
it off
has
the
one,
board just temporarily.
but she's singing about like plaque psoriasis to the tune of say what you wanna say and let your skin be clear.
Oh my God.
And then she keeps having to get higher and higher. And so like it is really funny. She's like, when it cuts, he's like, I'm gonna need you to hit psoriasis a little harder. And she's like, it's a really hard word to sing. Monica Barbaro is excellent. Like, she is so charming and winning. Callum Turner is presentable, like, totally. There's also another, like, he's sort of just supposed to be presentable. I think as a part of the parody, it's like, she is, for most of the movie, in the smallest sequin dress you have ever seen. You are often seeing the bottoms of her cheeks and most of her tits, like, because she's running a lot, because it's a rom-com, so there's a lot of running.
Right, of course.
He is in a polo that eventually is made fun of enough that he declares, "This is Buck Mason." And there is, like, a very funny ongoing joke about his, like, love of Buck Mason, and Monica Barbaro's character goes, "They're not all hitters, man." Which, that stuff is funny. That stuff works. And then you're like, okay, unfortunately, I am going to need you to tie the dots between the ways that, like, this guy is still dedicated to Buck Mason as a brand under fascist rule.
Right. So
this guy is not legally allowed to have sex. And he's still dedicated to Buck Mason. And the movie doesn't do that for you. You have to think about it on your own, at which point it becomes a lot less funny.
Does the movie consider it reasonable the extent to which these characters are choosing to just sort of carry forth and, like, go about a certain type of acceptance of these rules?
The movie doesn't address it.
Okay.
The way that the movie addresses how this all came to be is through a series of cameos, not in the style of Margot Robbie in The Big Short. Like, not in a, like, I'm going to break down something complicated for you so that it's easier to understand. They're actually often, like, Nicholas Braun coming in and being like, I'm going to pepper in a little bit of detail about something incredibly complicated so that you're even more confused.
I read your piece on theringer.com. What a great website about this. So I did know that there was a Nicholas Braun cameo because of that. Outside of that, like, it's just so funny to learn about the Nicholas Braun cameo.
And it is fairly well deployed in the way that they do it. He is a tech bro. That comes right through. He nailed it. They nailed it. That's all good. But like, you're learning that the way that every single people in the United States, and it is United States specific, everywhere in the world can still fuck except the United States.
Do you know if you go abroad, can you fuck?
So I only know that there is a poster that's like, come to Cuba, you can still fuck. Like, I don't know what the rules are precisely. There are peppered in little things like that there's a British woman who says that she got her biosensor at the airport. So if you come, and again, these are like things you know through one sentence, sort of. If you come to the United States, you also legally cannot have sex, and they will monitor that through, if you come to the United States, like every other single person in the United States, you have to get a biosensor, which is put into your wrist and is represented by a stupid little tattoo.
Right.
And everyone gets to choose their own tattoo.
What kind of a hit has this put on the tourist economy?
It's got to be bad. And that's not even addressed through anyone from Succession. Like, nobody comes in. It's just like, America's mostly the same. Buck Mason is good, but not that good. And then nothing else has happened. And so there's obviously, like, some, the mind can conclude, and there's some commentary that, like, yes, as a nation slowly slips into fascism, there is a certain amount of, like, frog boiling in a pot happening that you don't realize totally that sex is about to become illegal until it does. And then you're like, uh-oh, what do I do but keep on going? But also, like, you do some stuff. There's generally some sort of revolt. There's generally some uprising of something. There is no indication of that in the movie. The only way that they indicate that people really are not happy with this.
They didn't have a pussy hat for that?
There was no, their version of the pussy hat is just spray painting repeal over everything. Everyone's like, ugh, I wish they'd repeal this no sex law that passed through Congress. Now, we know that it passed through Congress because Callum Turner and LeVar Burton are having a conversation.
Something in my eye.
You're not crying at the LeVar Burton reveal?
Carry on.
Where Callum Turner is like, I didn't vote for this. It passed through Congress. And then LeVar Burton's like, well, we voted those people into place. And then they like start to get into it. But then Molly Ringwald is too horny. And they got to go fuck LeVar Burton and Molly Ringwald, who is Callum Turner's mom.
Okay. Crazy ass movie.
So like there are parts of the movie that are kind of funny and work, but they basically attempt to like make a satire of, falling into a fascist government and make a rom-com parody at the same time. I think those were too many things for this movie to do.
Sure.
It did kind of strike me as that this probably started as maybe a slightly darker or more sardonic script that then got sanded down by, its distributor. And from notes about the film, which we also know, because the director, Will Gluck, has said he came out after the movie had come out and this was a mistake. And said that he took so much nudity out of the movie because no one likes sex or nudity anymore. And it's just kind of like, you got to do what you want to do, man. If you're going to write a movie about the apocalypse.
Well, and also wasn't his quote like, after receiving pages and pages of empirical data
that not receive. He says he's collected pages of empirical data. And he says he knows this from two of my movies. And I'm really dying to know what they are because a strong editorial note that I received in my piece is I sort of changed that to say his last two movies by accident. And my editor said his last two movies are Anyone But You and Peter Rabbit 2. So do you think that's what he's talking about? And I was like, maybe not, but
know that Peter Rabbit 2, they're fully nude.
I know. Well, no, they Pooh Bear it, tops only. As one of my main childhood hobbies being like reading Beatrix Potter biographies. Sometimes they are no tops. But I don't like he made Anyone But You, which is the Sydney Sweeney, Glenn Powell rom-com that was not good but very popular. And
has a great final beat.
I haven't seen it.
There's a deployment of the
song.
Yeah.
Okay. He must have a real predilection for that kind of because what's the song? And I think we can.
It's Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield.
Yes, like Unwritten, and then in Easy A, when the card opens, that's Natasha Bedingfield too, isn't it?
Oh, it's Pocket Full of Sunshine.
Yeah. And a lot. I like
huge Natasha Bedingfield fan, Will Gluck,
and just sort of like huge aughts pop anthems.
Yeah.
Because this one has Michelle Branch, and
I don't play about Michelle Branch.
You are gonna have to listen to her be in her music be in a vaginal cream commercial in this film.
Everywhere.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
Is it everywhere?
It's 10,000 Miles. Oh,
that's Vanessa
Sorry,
Carlton.
I did the classic Vanessa Carlton,
Michelle Branch. Vanessa Carlton, Michelle Branch switcheroo.
I think it's 10,000 Miles. I can't. It could be either. It could be any interchangeable. They're not interchangeable. Sorry, Nora. It could be any of those songs.
So fucked up.
But I do think that like Will Gluck's kind of all over the place, and like he directed Easy A movie that I love. But I do think when you think about it, that is also really a movie about sort of addressing puritanical culture while absolutely subscribing to it.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
she hasn't actually had the sex she's being accused of. She doesn't ever have sex. We support her as a character, but also almost any other character in the movie who's had sex is bad. And in this movie, they sort of agree with the government. Like, it's just a little bit like, I wish we could have sex, but maybe we shouldn't. Maybe it'd be better if we didn't. It's very abstinent film. But I do think that the most interesting reveal...
Because of all that data.
All that empirical data. I'd like to know the original script that Travis Braun wrote. Actually, and you can read the original script because it won the blacklist. It got the most votes on the blacklist. And so it is publicly available. But I'd like to know how he came to this script, because it was revealed to me by a reader. And this ultimately went into my piece, that before Travis Braun wrote this movie about sex being made illegal in 3 years in the United States, it's kind of how you conceive of it as like 3 years ago, which I feel like the movie suggests is like 3 years from now, sex will be illegal in the United States. This man, the writer, had written 46 episodes of Pupstruction, which is a show about a corgi, an animated show about a corgi on a construction crew.
Naturally.
And he may be the smallest one there, but you don't need big paws to have big dreams.
That's right.
Before that, he had written 76 episodes of TOTS, TOTS, which stands for Tiny Ones Transport Service, which is about a flamingo and a penguin who become the first two non-stork animals to deliver babies to parents. And then he wrote,
you know what? A gig's a gig.
Movie. It's fascinating. So was it good? No. Was I fascinated? Kind of.
I think that's enough of an endorsement for me.
It's not an endorsement, but yeah, I would say see it on streaming.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would say see it on streaming.
Yeah, maybe even on an airplane.
However, I did enjoy my theatrical experience, which was
yeah, I mean, it does seem like there are...
It hasn't done well, though.
Oh,
ultimately.
Okay.
It got butts and seats in New York City.
Sure.
Where the entire audience was clearly there from the internet.
Yeah.
And was laughing so hard at every reveal of the rules of the world. Any reveal about, like, sex being illegal and why was a big laugh. And then I think that interest kind of filtered down with enough, pieces on the internet.
That makes sense.
So, that's where we are.
It's like an all blogger screening of this
it's
movie.
like how I think that maybe like cruises are actually all just journalists there to write about cruises. And I'd love to be one of them. This was all just journalists, like trying to keep the light down on their notes app while they write down, like, is it Vanessa Carlton or Michelle Branch? Listen, the final thing we were obsessed with this week, which I really do think could be each of our personal obsessed if we wanted it to be, is Keri Russell and Matthew Rhys covered the latest issue of Variety. And is there a more delightful celebrity couple? Although they would maybe say they're not celebrities.
Yeah, they did say that. They did talk a lot about how they're not famous, which, like, I get the point that they were making, which is actually that they have an incredible level of fame.
Well, this is an introspective question that I ask sometimes, is like, what level of famous would you want to be if you were famous? And I have before said Carly Rae Jepsen, where it's like, you're talented, you have made like a huge mark on the musical world. It's just not that famous.
Carly Rae Jepsen, by the way, is the other version of Robin, where people can use Carly Rae Jepsen to be both fluent in mainstream and indie spaces.
I'm just thinking about, I think that there's also a correlation between like freshmen in college boys playing a guitar at you while they do like a slowed down version of Call Me Maybe. And they're like, isn't this artistic? Are you impressed with how artistic? Carly Rae Jepsen, but Keri Russell basically makes in this Variety piece sort of like makes a statement that they might be the best answer, because she's like, we get the perks of like, yeah, we get to go to a few dinners, like we get in at restaurants.
Like sometimes we get in places we might not otherwise be able to get in.
But then she also talks about in the video they do, which is kind of like the Newlywed Game. They ask a question and they both reveal their answers. She talks about that when they both found out they were nominated for like 100 Emmys this year. They're each nominated for several Emmys. And they found that out when they were on a little date night that she had arranged. And she was like, she talks about that there was like they went to like a really good restaurant they wanted to get into. And she's like, and I don't love this, but I don't love doing this, but I had to call someone and like ask if they could get us in. And she was like, and I mean, we still, got there at 5:30 and like lined up outside the door when they opened. It's like,
I want to know so badly where it was.
I would think that they're more famous than that. A 5:30 reservation for Keri Russell?
Yeah, no,
How dare.
It's crazy to me, but I do wonder if like people who don't try to take advantage of that, like I wonder if it's just like the mechanics of how to do that are not immediately apparent to people.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's like you're calling an agent and they should know how to do that.
Or I just like, are you just calling
I
the
wonder,
restaurant
honestly,
and saying,
a lot
I'm
of
Keri
restaurants these
Russell?
days that don't have a phone.
That is true. And a lot of like I've been trying to get in somewhere here and you not get them on the phone.
Yeah. No, there's a lot. And maybe this is actually the thing that we are not thinking about. The butterfly effect of restaurants not having phones is that Keri Russell might be waiting outside your establishment at 5:30 p.m. Do you want that? Sailor?
Probably. If
I don't
I
know if it
walked
was
past
Sailor.
a
It might have- it
restaurant
feels
and
like it could have
saw
been
Keri
Sailor.
Russell, I would also be lining up. But they don't need that.
Where's she on the Four Horsemen?
She didn't say. She was too busy making a little joke about how they were doing this date night because they never see each other, and then she's like, we don't really like each other. These two are
so cute.
cutting up. A lot of their relationship seems to be him saying outlandish things to make her laugh, and it is successful. And she is laughing, and she finds him endlessly funny. And if there was a little bit of infidelity on the set of The Americans,
It's fine.
this is the way to do it. You better make it fucking worth something.
Sorry to Keri Russell's ex-husband. Not my problem.
Sorry that she met the love of her life.
Yeah.
Matthew Rhys.
It's just some things you can't stand in the way of fate. True love. They're so beautiful.
Another
thing that I love that they do, I love a couple who's been together for a really long time and has not chosen to get married, but still throws around my wife or my husband. Like,
yeah.
I love that. And they do that. And I love that. Because sometimes he's like, well, my wife.
Well, and he talks about, they talk about their family a good bit. And it's just like, it's so casual and like their relationship feels lived in when you like get to watch them. He says that they ask him how he chooses his projects, and he's like, cash. Just whoever's offering the most cash, basically. He's like, I got a wife, couple of kids, and a mortgage. It's cash. But then she kind of like digs in a little bit and is like, yeah, but like when you came back from Widow's Bay, you loved
it. You loved it.
She was like, and we only know this by you saying, I think it went okay. I think it was pretty good. So it seems that he's very proud of that. And that makes sense because that Netflix show, The Beast Inside Me, is not good. So I like knowing that he did that for cash, and I hope Claire Danes did too.
Yeah.
I support them having cash, and I watched it.
They did this interview and the photos. By the way, most of the photos are just like very charming photos of the two of them wearing a lot of layered denim, cavorting in upstate New York. And then there is one photo of him in a bucket wearing in a barrel wearing a hat. It's in the middle of the Variety interview. If you haven't scrolled to the part where Matthew Rhys is just submerged like to nipple height in a barrel and then is wearing a fedora, and that's just the photograph. The rest of these photos, like he's wearing a Loro Piana sweat. He might be in this too, but they're like they're sort of rustic glamorous, but they're glamorous. And then there is one where he's in a barrel, and I just need you to know that.
I feel like the barrel one didn't load for me as I was because it surely would have taken me back to. There is a photo of me as a baby. My family is not like didn't do a lot of like we had these photos made, or like going to the mall. There is one photo of me as a baby in a Christmas themed photo shoot, and I'm in a bucket. I'm in a bucket and then sort of like covered in fake snow and maybe wearing a Santa hat. I'm not sure. I'm a baby. And I'm like, y'all thought it was a good idea to put me in a bucket?
That's very funny.
And they thought it was a good idea to put him in this barrel.
To tote you around a little bit. I
don't think they toted. They just stuffed me in there. I like the one where he is heel clicking off the bicycle. Oh, there's him in a bucket. No, you know what?
Should we do our new favorite pastime of turning photographs on our computer screens to camera?
Can you gotta stop undermining
There's Matthew Rhys. There's Matthew Rhys in a bucket. I don't know why I keep calling it, you said bucket.
I don't know
In a
what
barrel.
but you know what that looks like is a Matthew Morrison photo.
Yes,
That is exactly
totally.
how Matthew Morrison is advertising
Totally.
his tour.
Totally.
Well, we had a good time. I would
just
recommend
in the barrel.
He's in a barrel. He's in a barrel.
Oh, I love them.
Actually,
but they're at this place called the Deer Mountain Inn in upstate New York. And I've become instantly I'm like, I need to go to the Deer Mountain Inn.
Yeah, you spent like the 10 minutes before we logged on, first of all, singing, and second of all, seeing if you could get into the Deer Mountain Lodge.
Well, the place where they did ChatGPT summer camp and the place that I actually really want to go, the Point at Saranac Lake, both out of my budget. The Deer Mountain Inn, I think I could swing that. It is booked up for...
You could get a night in a bucket.
I could
a night in a barrel.
I could get a barrel. I could get barrel accommodations at the Deer Mountain Inn. However, they do seem to be booked for the next several, well into the fall weekends.
Fall seems like it would be a nice time to be there.
know. It looks really beautiful. It looks really like cozy.
Before we move on, I do want to quote you from the comments of this Google Doc where you and Sasha were going back and forth, and you said, "I want to watch them kiss."
I do.
I do. I want to watch them kiss.
I don't mean to be weird about it.
The theme of this episode was we are going to be weird about it. I do want to watch them kiss. I do feel weird about this. Everything's a little weird. Nora, bring us back home. What have you personally been obsessed with this week?
Okay. Well, actually, this is very on theme because you could say that it's a little bit weird that on an episode of this podcast where I have spoken about my love of Audrey Hobert, I'm wearing her clothes.
You've skinned her and worn her like a shirt.
Anyway, my personal obsessed this week is the Cleo Camp Cleo reversible t-shirt. You can see it on me right now. I am wearing it in the boat neck way because you can wear this shirt like front facing and back facing. This side is boat neck, and then if I had it flipped around, it would be more of a scoop neck. If you would like to see the scoop neck style, you can watch Audrey Hobert in her Tiny Desk performance, in which she is wearing the butter yellow version in the scoop neck orientation. I have seen and heard both Audrey Hobert and Lauren Sherman from Puck, whose work about the fashion industry I really enjoy and admire, say that they have and like this shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can just insert myself into that little triangle.
These are sort of the rocket ship sheets of shirts.
Yes. I want to be a part of it. I really like this shirt. It's like I like basic t-shirts. Mm-hmm. I like those type of wardrobe staples. I get a lot of use out of them. But this one, it's a little bit of a different shape to it than most of the, like, when you do the strategist, however many white t-shirts they can recommend to you, they all tend to be a similar kind of boxy style. That's the style of the COS one that I love. This is a little bit more fitted. It kind of makes me feel like a dancer.
It is leotard-like.
Yeah. And that's something that I like.
And it looks really great on you. It also looks really great on Audrey Hobert in the Tiny Desk when I see it. I gotta say, you're doing good work for it, because when I look at the Cleo website at the Cleo T, I'm like, she looks like she's wearing her shirt backwards.
Well, and sometimes it does kind of look like that even on me. Something about it is that, like, you have to be comfortable showing a little bit of bra strap sometimes. Like, it's gonna,
If I tried to make it through this life not being comfortable showing a little bra strap.
And I think it's kind of like Gen Z is very comfortable with it. Makes me feel young. It has this cute little, her brand signature is just these two little
buttons.
Little like mother of pearl or abalone or whatever it is. Shell buttons. I think they're very cute. She makes some bags and stuff, and they also have that little detail. I really like it.
I like it.
I might get another.
It's a good shirt and I like a closer fitted thing. So that's a good rec for me for probably a white shirt, because they're always boxy and I can't, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I do wonder if there's a different word. When I think reversible,
I know, inside out.
I think inside out. I think you can switch that around. But it is.
Could, like, in a literal sense, what would putting the back of this on the front be if not to reverse it?
I know, it's right. I'm just the dominant language.
Flip it and reverse it.
Oh, it's a flippable shirt?
As a
Missy Elliott shirt?
A woman once said.
As a wonderful woman once said. I love it. I love that you get to share this special thing with your special girl, Audrey Hobert.
With my special girl.
And
Lauren Sherman, who also seems really cool.
Were you already wearing it before you knew that she was wearing it in the Tiny Desk that came out today?
Yes.
Well, that is beautiful. You didn't do it in honor. You did it in soul.
Yes. But
Okay.
I did buy it because a while back I saw the music journalist Shad D'Souza, whose writing I really like and who does Shad Magazine on his Instagram, which is a magazine, but it's just on Instagram. He did a piece in the magazine on Instagram.
A carousel.
Where it was just talking to people that he knows about the Cleo Camp Cleo tea, being like, what's the deal with this shirt? Everybody seems to be wearing this shirt. And one of the people that he spoke to and quoted in the piece on the Instagram was Audrey Hobert, who I think went to like middle school with Cleo or something like that. It's a small fashion line based out of Los Angeles. And her quote was like, I know Cleo from way back when, and she has always been that bitch. And I was like, I'm gonna buy the shirt.
Do you feel like that bitch?
I feel like Cleo's that bitch.
Okay. I love it.
I feel
love
like that bitch, but in a sort of separate way.
You're showing a little bra
I feel
strap.
good in the shirt. I wouldn't say that to me it's a that bitch feeling, but I feel like I get it for Cleo.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. And I'm glad that you're bringing something like really, specific and fashionable to the table, because I'm about to say Target sandals.
Good.
Target, this is sort of a public service announcement. I know I've mostly been doing my public service via food recalls recently, but this one feels important because when I made the sort of sandals of summer list compiled by our readers on my Shop I found that the sandal that it seemed that people were, from the empirical data I collected, I found that the sandal it seemed most people were most driven by, most interested, was this random Target sandal that I had recommended. I very much stand by this recommendation. It is the Meg sandal with memory foam insole by A New Day. What A New Day is doing with memory foam insoles at Target is very good. And
they were I think it was when they had last summer, they had a very good dupe of the Row flip-flops.
Yeah.
The ones with the red sole. And I feel like that was in A New Day. And it was very comfy. And the actual ones I've never put on my feet, but feel
they
like
seem flat. They seem very flat.
Yeah.
But right now, the Target sandals, which are already quite affordable, are on additional sale. I think for probably kind of an end of summer sale, although we are on record as it is not the end of summer. It's not the end of summer, which means it's a perfect time to get some sandals on sale because you can still get still
get quite a bit
wear out of them. And I have found a couple, there's sort of a very obvious, I wouldn't call it a dupe because no one's going to mistake it, but kind of looks like the Big Buckle Birkenstock that I like, that I'm interested in. And they're just so inexpensive. And I'm wearing my Meg black sandals right now. They are almost sold out. They only got them in the normal sizes, which is weird, like 7, 8, 9.
Oh yeah, some of these are good. I like the Pia ornamented thong slide.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about getting into. I've been pretty anti flip flop for a pretty long time, just for my toes and what my toes can do. But I'm thinking about getting back into it via a little wedge or a little kitten heel. I have seen one too many young women wearing those and thought they looked so cute. It's just it's the millennium. I'm
pro
the
Y2K.
I want it back. And so I'm interested in trying that on a Target level. That's pretty low stakes in terms of investment. And I thought the reader might be too.
This is excellent news you can use.
This is news you can use. This is Paul Revere. We got to get him off those rooftops. Nora, thank you for an unsolicited history lesson. Thank you to Remy and Lucy in the booth. Thank you, Sasha. We will see you back here next week on We're Obsessed. Bye.